September 1962, President Kennedy stepped up to a podium at Rice University and pledged to land a man on the moon and return him safely to the Earth.
Do this and do it right, and do it first, before this decade is out.
NASA didn't actually know whether the lunar surface was solid enough to support a lander. Some of the metals that would be required to build the rockets hadn't even been invented. We jumped into the cosmic void and hoped that we'd grow wings on the way up. And just less than 7 years after Kennedy's pledge, Neil Armstrong took a giant leap for mankind.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
That giant leap is often celebrated as a triumph of technology, but it wasn't. It was a triumph of a certain thought process that rocket scientists used to turn the seemingly impossible into the possible. So the status quo is a super magnet, even in enlightened institutions. We look at the rearview mirror and do what we did yesterday. Let's launch the same marketing campaign. Let's write the same, mass market paperback book about teenage vampires. Let's make the 17th sequel to Fast and Furious. It's only when we sacrifice the certainty of answers and learn to embrace uncertainty that breakthroughs happen.
So moonshot thinking isn't just dreaming big and just sort of crossing your fingers that that dream becomes reality. It's really the intersection of idealism and pragmatism.
So the moonshot process has 4 steps. The first step is reimagine. Do we own our assumptions, or do our assumptions own us? Can you identify those breakthrough ideas that will allow you to define the future of your industry? Now, when we're moving from imagining to experimenting, there's going to be lots of uncertainty involved. I encourage you to keep asking yourselves this question of what if we did the reverse? You don't have to execute, by the way. Just a simple process of asking yourself that question is often sufficient to get you to question your assumptions. After you iterate and improve, we get to the 4th stage, which is achieve. Traditionally, achieve means getting exactly what you aim for. But here's the amazing thing about moonshot thinking. Even if you don't get your moonshot, even if you fail, you will fail above everyone else's success. I'm a good example of this. I told you my moonshot was becoming an astronaut. I didn't get it, at least not yet. But I got to work on one of the most successful interplanetary missions of all time. And if I wasn't aiming to be an astronaut, I never would have gotten there. Even if you get what you're aiming for, you have to go back to the beginning, to reimagine, experiment, accelerate, achieve, back to the beginning, reimagine, in a continuous loop. It was a moonshot for slaves to reach for freedom, for women to take the ballot, for refugees to push toward distant shores. We're a species of moonshots, even though we've largely forgotten it. Breakthroughs are reasonable only in hindsight. The day before a major breakthrough, it's just a crazy idea. But if we restrict ourselves to what's possible given what we have, we'll never achieve escape velocity and create a future worth getting excited about.